All rise.
Good evening, everyone. We'll call the City Council to order at 8 o'clock on Monday, March 14, 2022. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we have 20 items on this evening's agenda, and I will ask the city clerk to please read agenda item number 1.
Minutes of the City Council meeting February 28th, 2022.
Councilor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file?
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the minutes. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are approved, 11-0. Agenda item number 2.
From City Council President Ossing, an update from Mayor Vigent regarding COVID-19.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President and members, and I think I'm going to talk to the President about this being the end of our updates. Unless requested, I'll be glad to come down at any time, but we currently have 5 active cases in the city, so we're getting there. The sad part is we were there once before, so we're just hoping things are a lot better this time, and obviously a lot more people have been vaccinated, but 14-day positivity rate is 1.65%. Again, another good sign. The Stop the Spread down at the New England Sports Center has been very slow, but they are going to continue doing it on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays from 8 to 11. It's up on the website, and that's through March 31st, and I think at that point we'll be closing that down also. As far as vaccination rates go, at this point, like I said, we're trickling up about 1% a week. We're at 91% of our residents have had 1 dose, and 79% have had 2 doses. We're just short of that 80%, so a little frustrating, but we're getting there. And the younger kids, 53% of our 5 to 11-year-olds have had their first dose, and 40% are fully vaccinated. So they're really stepping it up in that age bracket. The health department, John Garside and the health department continues to do a clinic at City Hall every Wednesday from 12 to 1. Again, that's been very slow, but we're going to continue doing it for a few more weeks to see if we can drum up any additional activity. And they are planning on doing pop-ups along the way. And with that, I'm just going to take a little former councilor prerogative here and make a couple of other announcements. We have we're open for applications for our college internship for the summer through April 30th. We're going to be taking applications. The City Scholarship Fund is taking applications through May 13th. We'll be giving out hopefully 5 $1,000 scholarships again this year. Senior Work-Off Program that runs through Trish Pope's Council on Aging is the deadline on those applications is Friday, March 18th, so it's this week. So if anyone's interested, make sure they get down their application in by this week. We try to accommodate your skills with the jobs. So the Hometown Heroes banners, again, we're taking applications on those through April 8th. And working with all of you, the Project Clean Sweep will be Saturday, April 30th, down at the DPW garage from 9 to noon. And last but not least, Hazardous Waste Day is May 14th. So everything is back in the swing of things here in the city. With that, Mr. President, I apologize to you, and do I have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Questions for the mayor? Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, through you to the mayor. Excellent news. This is really great. You said there were 5 active cases. Is there any hospitalized? Or?
They've been running between 1 and 3. I think one day there were 4, but they've been going up and down. By the reports I get first thing in the morning, by the end of the day, it changes a little bit, so
Sure.
it's anywhere from 1 to 4.
Okay, that's excellent news.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Doucette. Councilor Pearlman.
Thank you, Mr. President, and through you to the mayor. Again, this is such wonderful news, and thank you for coming down with that information. I got a question from a resident just about the website. I know there used to be a banner at the top. Is that no longer going to exist, and residents should go directly to the Board of Health page, or will that exist for a little bit longer?
No, we pulled the banner down off the city website. There is still all the information on the Board of Health website. So if they go into the Health Department website, everything is still there and the updates are right there.
Okay, thank you very much.
If I can just add to that, the top left-hand side of the Board of Health webpage has the coronavirus information, and it gets you to all the links, so you should be able to find them. Councilor Orem.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Mayor, thank you for the news. It sounds good everywhere. I know there's a little uptick right now in the sewage, but in New York City, I believe Boston was announced as well, but just a small uptick. Let's hope that's all it is. Question, as we come to the end of this horrific pandemic, is Marlborough planning, I know the state will probably do these, basically you go overview everything to see how things went well, how bad things went, and so forth. Is Marlborough planning to get the department heads together? Are you planning to do that, a hot wash more or less, to review how things went through the whole process?
Yeah, we definitely planning on doing that. We wanted to wait till the health department really slows down and can put some efforts into it, because they've been going for the last couple of years. All the departments and all the department heads have been working hard, but the health department's really stepped it up, and we will be doing a review of everything.
Yeah, and that's no discredit, that's just a
Yeah, no,
format that
absolutely.
follows.
Absolutely.
Thank all the department heads and you and your
Agreed.
administration for what's been done through this, as I said, horrific pandemic.
Yep.
But I think that hot wash is good because you learn how to plan for the future by learning from the past. So
Yep.
I appreciate hearing that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other questions for the mayor? No other questions for the mayor? Mr. Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Agenda item number 3.
Communication from the mayor regarding a grant acceptance in the amount of $19,500 from the Massachusetts Cultural Council awarded to the city of Marlborough to be awarded by the Cultural Council in support of worthy arts, humanities, music, and youth-based initiatives in our community.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant, please.
Motion made and seconded to approve the grant. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The grant is approved, 11-0. Agenda item number 4.
Communication from the mayor regarding grant acceptance in the amount of $13,350 from the Federal Emergency Management Agency awarded to the city of Marlborough for the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Program for the Hazard Mitigation Plan Update Project.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant.
Motion made and seconded to approve the grant. Is there any discussion on the motion? Councilor Orem.
It's just a quick question. I don't know if anyone's here to maybe tell us exactly where this money will go in this process. I understand it. I did it when I was an employee in Ashland, but do we have any specific projects looking in the future? I don't know if anyone's here to indicate that. If not, I'll try to find out elsewhere.
Yeah, no, it's just the update to the hazard mitigation plan. So when I talked to Director Flynn, he said they'll go out to bid, and they'll update the plan, and then it'll be available for folks to look at on the website.
On that same scenario we're planning, which is very important. So I agree with this as well, that move forward and do the appropriate planning. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Orem. Any other comments or questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the approval? Opposed? The grant is approved, 11-0. Agenda item number 5.
Communication from the mayor regarding grant acceptance in the amount of $80,436 from the Executive Office of Elder Affairs awarded to the Council on Aging to be used to fund administration, transportation, and programming services offered by the Senior Center.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant, please.
Motion made and seconded to approve the grant. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The grant is approved, 11-0. Agenda item number 6.
Communication from the mayor regarding capital project requests totaling $19,910,000, which include bond requests in the amount of $6,675,000 for infrastructure projects and a transfer request from free cash in the amount of $1,448,100 for various department needs.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to refer to Finance Committee and to advertise the 3 bonds, please.
Motion made and seconded to refer the package to the Finance Committee and advertise the 3 bonds. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? We will send it to Finance and advertise 11-0. Agenda item number 7.
Communication from the mayor regarding proposed amendment to the Code of the City of Marlborough, Chapter 510, Sewers, Section 2, Use of Public Sewers, as submitted by the mayor, and a transfer request in the amount of $100,000 from undesignated fund to sewer service betterment to allow for loans to eligible homeowners.
Councilor Landers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'd like to refer this to Public Service Committee. And also, I believe we want to, advertise the ordinance change?
Correct. So motion is made and seconded to refer the ordinance change to the Public Services Committee and advertise the ordinance change. Is there any discussion on the motion? Councilor Orem.
Thank you. Just a quick question. In reading it, it appears to be some financing and legislative and legal issues going on. I will attend the public service meeting, but...
Hope you do.
Oh, I will. But I also thought maybe, hopefully, people on the Finance Committee will be there, as well as legal and legislative, because it involves all 3, public service, finance, and legal and legislative. So, great.
Yeah. So as you know, councils can all participate.
Yep.
So having to go to all 3 would not be
I
not
agree.
effective use of our time.
Yep. With the betterment and all, and the legal language, but sounds good. I trust the chairperson of the Public Service Committee will handle it very well. It was in no way an undermining the service committee, Public Service Committee, but there's a lot of financial and legal and legislative stuff that are in this presentation. Thank you.
And he's well-versed in all that.
And
Thank you.
So, all right, so on the motion to refer to public service and to advertise, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is going to public service and to advertise, 11-0. Agenda item number 8.
Communication from the mayor regarding the appointment of Catherine Eustace to the Commission on Disabilities for a 3-year term from the date of council confirmation.
Councilor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to move to the Personnel Committee.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the Personnel Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is referred to Personnel, 11-0. Agenda item number 9.
Communication from the mayor regarding notification of mayoral reappointments to the OPEB Trust and the Cultural Council.
Councilor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. As the mayor's letter states, there's nothing for the council to do, so a motion to accept and place on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the mayoral appointments. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The mayor's correspondence is filed, 11-0. Agenda item number 10.
Communication from Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding notice of dismissal of the matter McDonald's Corp. versus Raising Cane's Restaurant LLC, the Marlborough City Council et al.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is very good news for the city council and the city. I'm going to move to accept and place on file the communication and see if we can, I don't know who would request it, the updated site plan from Site Plan Committee, so we have it for our files.
So the motion's been made and seconded to accept and place on file the solicitor's communication and the site plan. They have approved it. I'll make sure that Karen gets it into our files when it's appropriate, Councilor Roby. So on the motion to accept and place on file the solicitor's correspondence, any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The communication is filed, 11-0. Agenda item number 11.
Communication from Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding the application for a special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of J&D Landscape Contractors to construct and operate both a contractor's yard and landscaping contractor's yard at the Airport Industrial Park, 101 Airport Boulevard, Unit 12, in proper legal form, order number 2122-100-8441D.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to move to send this down to item number 19 on the agenda.
Been a motion made and seconded to move this item to agenda number 19 on our agenda this evening. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? 11-0. It will be moved to number 19. Agenda item number 12.
Petition for Massachusetts Electric to replace direct buried cable for Woodland Estates with 5,457 feet of 1 to 2 inch cable in conduit. Install 85 feet of 2 to 3 inch conduit from riser poles to pull boxes, 10 pull boxes, 1 heavy-duty handhole, 1 junction box, replace 3 submersible transformers with pad-mounted transformers, and replace 4 risers to install 1 to 2 inch cable in conduit via direct drilling on Vega Road.
Councilor
Thank you,
Landers.
Mr. President. That looks like one big project, over a mile of cable, but that's, it's obvious, the age is just about right. I remember when those streets went in, and I know what National Grid used to do way back then when they put cable underground. So, Mr. President, I think I'd like to refer this to Public Services, and also I would like you to set a date for a public hearing.
Motion made and seconded to refer this item to public service, and we'll set a public hearing for March 28th. So refer to public service and set a public hearing for March 28th. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is going to public service with a public hearing on March 28th by a vote of 11-0. Agenda item number 13.
Application for modification of special permit from 587 Bolton Street, Inc. to allow for outdoor seating, a gazebo, and bar area at 587 Bolton Street.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to move to refer this to Urban Affairs and to set a public hearing for May 11th.
April
I'm
11th.
sorry, April.
That'd be better.
January, February, March,
Motion
April.
made and seconded to refer this item to Urban Affairs, set a public hearing for April 11th, and to advertise. Everybody good with that? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? This will be going to Urban Affairs with a public hearing on April 11th and to advertise, 11-0. Agenda item number 13.
Communication from National Grid regarding notice of upcoming sideline vegetation maintenance within the electric transmission right-of-way easement.
Councilor Naven.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the correspondence. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The item is filed, 11-0. Agenda item number 15.
Communication from Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs regarding public comment period on the yearly operational plan as submitted by the City of Marlborough.
Councilor Naven.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file this correspondence. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The item is filed, 11-0. Agenda item 16.
Minutes of boards, commissions, and committees.
Mr. President.
Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the minutes of the boards, commissions, and committees.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file all the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are filed, 11-0. Agenda item 17.
Claims.
Mr. President.
Claims. Councilor Doucette.
Motion to send the claims to the legal department.
Motion made and seconded to send the claims to the legal department. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The claims are going to the legal department, 11-0. Reports of committees. Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public service announcement. Finance Committee will be meeting on March 21st at 7:20 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Irish. Anyone else? Councilor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Personnel is meeting at 6 o'clock on Monday, the 21st as well.
Thank you, Councilor Dumas. Councilor Orem.
Thank you, Mr. President. Operation Oversights will be meeting right after Personnel, so I'm sure they're going to be pretty speedy with the 10 minutes they've been given. But we're meeting at 6:10 p.m. on March 21st here in the chambers, and I expect it's going to be more than the one meeting because there's several others that will be announced for that same night. But we're starting the review of the Collins report on the succession planning, and that's going to take some time, and I'm hoping to have department heads involved with that as well as all the councilors. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Orem. Councilor Pearlman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Everyone's favorite committee, Legislative and Legal, will be meeting at 7 p.m. on the 21st with the other committees. I hope to see many of you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Pearlman. Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. The Climate Resiliency Committee is also meeting on that Monday, 21st.
Thank you, Councilor Doucette. Anybody else want to meet on that evening? Everybody's good? Okay, and no other reports of committees. We'll move on to agenda item number 18.
It's on the agenda. I couldn't.
Order number 22-100, 8512, proposed amendment to the City Code, Chapter 125, Personnel, Section 6, Salary Schedule, to amend the salary for the parking enforcement officer as submitted by the mayor. Recommendation of the Finance Committee is to approve. The proposed ordinance was properly advertised on February 25th, 2022, and the 10-day period has been met.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the recommendation of committee to approve, please.
Motion's made and seconded to approve. This is an ordinance change, so is there any discussion on the ordinance change? Seeing none, so this will go through the 4 stages. We'll start with the first one. All those in favor of suspending the first reading and approving the second, please signify. That is approved. All those in favor of the passage to be enrolled, please signify. That is approved, 11-0. All those in favor of the passage to be ordained? All those in favor? Opposed? That is approved, 11-0. Is there any objection to passing the ordinance in one evening? Seeing none, the ordinance is approved. Agenda item number 19.
Order number 2122-100-8441C, application for a special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of J&D Landscape Contractors to construct and operate both contractor's yard and a landscaping contractor's yard at the Airport Industrial Park, 101 Airport Boulevard, Unit 12. Recommendation of the Urban Affairs Committee is to approve.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I'm going to move to accept and place on file the communication from the solicitor, and then I'm going to move the recommendation of committee, which was to approve the special permit.
Motion made and second to accept and place on file the communication from the solicitor. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of filing the communication? Opposed? The communication is filed, 11-0. Councilor Roby. Next.
Move the recommendation of committee.
Motion is made and seconded to move the recommendation of the committee, which is to approve the special permit. Councilor Brown.
President Ossing, please let the record reflect that I'll be abstaining.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. We will let the record reflect that Councilor Brown will be abstaining from participating in the vote. So with the special permit, no other discussion? Any other discussion on the special permit? Seeing none, I will ask the clerk to read the conditions.
The City Council, pursuant to its authority under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40A, and the zoning ordinance of the City of Marlborough, hereby grants the applicant a special permit for a contractor's yard and a landscape contractor's yard at 101 Airport Boulevard, Unit 12, as shown on the plans filed, subject to the following conditions, which conditions shall be binding on the applicant, its successors, and/or assigns. 1. Construction in accordance with applicable laws. Construction of all structures on the site is to be in accordance with all applicable building codes and zoning regulations in effect in the City of Marlborough and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and shall be built according to the plans as may be amended during site plan review. 2. Site plan review. The issuance of the special permit is further subject to detailed site plan review by the Site Plan Review Committee in accordance with the City of Marlborough Site Plan Review Ordinance prior to the issuance of the building permit. Any additional changes, alterations, modifications, or amendments as required during this process of site plan review shall be further conditions attached to the building permit, and a final certificate of occupancy shall not be issued until the applicant has complied with all the conditions provided that the Site Plan Committee may authorize the phasing of the site work depending upon weather conditions and other factors. Subsequent site plan review shall be consistent with the conditions of this special permit, and the plan submitted, reviewed, and approved by the City Council as the special permit granting authority. 3. Modification of plans. Notwithstanding conditions 1 and 2 above, the City Council or the Site Plan Review Committee may approve engineering changes to the plans so long as said changes do not change the use as approved herein or materially increase the impervious area of the use, reduce the green area, alter traffic flow, or increase the size of the building, all as shown on the plans. 4. Incorporation of submissions. All plans, photo renderings, site evaluations, briefs, and other documentation provided by the applicant as part of the application and as amended or revised during the application hearing process before the City Council and/or the City Council's Urban Affairs Committee are herein incorporated into and become part of this special permit and become conditions and requirements of the same unless otherwise altered by the City Council. 5. Stormwater and erosion control management. The applicant and successors and/or assigned shall ensure that its site superintendent during construction of the project is competent in stormwater and erosion control management. This individual's credentials shall be acceptable to the Engineering Division of the City's Department of Public Works and the City's Conservation Commission. This individual shall be responsible for checking the site before, during, and after storm events, including weekends and evenings when storms are predicted. This individual shall ensure that no untreated stormwater leaves the site consistent with the state's and the city's stormwater regulation. This individual shall ensure compliance with the approved sequence of construction plan and the approved erosion control plan. The applicant, its successors, and/or assigned shall grant this individual complete authority of the site as it relates to stormwater and erosion controls. 6. Screening. In accordance with Section 650-18A-48 of the zoning ordinance, the applicant shall install fencing, vegetated screening, or the combination of screening types to screen areas of the site used for the storage of vehicles, equipment, and materials from the street and adjacent properties, and shall maintain the fencing and plantings in good repair. Said screening shall comply with the requirements of all applicable city ordinances. 7. Outdoor storage areas. In accordance with Section 650-18A-48 of the zoning ordinance, the outdoor storage of vehicles, equipment, and materials shall be located on impervious and otherwise dust-free surfaces. Material shall be stored with sufficient protections to avoid damage to landscaped areas and to avoid interference with the proper functioning of stormwater infrastructure. Lawn areas shall be separated from the adjacent parking storage areas with curbing. Any storage of bark mulch at the site shall be subject to the fire safety conditions approved through the site plan review process. The site shall not be used to store grass clippings or similar landscaping debris that may generate odors. 8, indoor storage areas. Building areas used to store vehicles, equipment, and materials indoors shall be equipped with the floor drainage systems designed to prevent fuel, oil, and other hazardous materials from entering the stormwater or sewer systems approved through the site plan review process. 9, vehicle repairs and maintenance. The site may not be used for major repairs of vehicles and equipment, but minor maintenance of vehicles and equipment which are exclusively operated as part of the use may be performed indoors only, subject to condition 10. 10, noise and air quality. The applicant, its successors, and/or sign shall comply with the city's noise ordinance and shall comply with all state and federal requirements governing air quality and emissions. 11, lighting. Exterior lighting at the site shall be downward facing and shielded to minimize impacts on neighboring properties, with a lighting plan for the site to be reviewed and further conditioned during the site plan review process. Exterior lighting at the site shall be shut off outside of operating hours, except for lighting necessary for security and emergency access. 12, compliance with applicable laws. The applicant and successors and/or signs agrees to comply with all municipal, state, and federal rules, regulations, and ordinances as they may apply to the construction, maintenance, and operation of the use. 13, recording of decision. In accordance with the provisions of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 48, Section 11, the applicant and successors and/or signs at its expense shall record this special permit in the Middlesex South Registry of Deeds after the city clerk has certified that the 20-day period for appealing the special permit has elapsed with no appeal having been filed and before the applicant has applied to the building commissioner for a building permit. Upon recording, the applicant shall forthwith provide a copy of the recorded special permit to the city council office, the building department, and the city solicitor's office. No, all set.
All right, councilors, you heard the conditions of the special permit. Are there any other comments or questions on the conditions for the special permit? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Dumas.
Yes.
Councilor Navin.
Yes.
Councilor Oram.
Yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Yes.
Councilor Landers.
Yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Yes.
Councilor Brown abstains. Councilor Wagner.
Yes.
Councilor Perlman.
Yes.
Councilor Irish.
Yes.
And Councilor Roby.
Yes.
10 yea, 1 abstention, sir.
The special permit for JD Landscape is approved, 10 in the affirmative and 1 abstention. Agenda item number 20.
Order number 2122-100, 8475A, communication from the mayor regarding a request that the city council consider a zoning map change regarding portions of Jefferson Street. A date for the public hearing needs to be determined before the matter can be advertised, sir.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Many of us tonight are wearing green in anticipation of the 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day. But for this item, it's more appropriate that today is 3/14, which is Pi Day. And pi measures the circumference of a circle. So we are circling back to this item, and I'm eating humble pie because I should have known when this was suspended that there had to be a public hearing set. So, with all of that said, I'm going to refer this to Urban Affairs, refer to the Planning Board, and set a public hearing for April, I can't read my handwriting. April 11th. Thank you.
So the motion made to set a public hearing for April 11th to advertise and refer to the planning board. It does currently reside in Urban Affairs. So again, that's public hearing on April 11th, advertise and refer to the planning board. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none. Oh, Councilor Dumas.
Thank you, President Ossing. I just need to recuse myself from this vote. Thank you.
Forgot about that. Thank you, Councilor Dumas. So let the record reflect that Councilor Dumas will abstain from participating in this item. So on the motion to set a public hearing for April 11th, advertise and refer to the planning board. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved 10-0 with 1 abstention. I need you back there. Councilor Dumas.
Should have taken my time. Motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned at 8:29. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.